Musical influences. Dating back to a kid, riding in the whip with my parents, driving around. Started off on heavy gospel, so I would say Fred Hammond because they played his records, commissioned Kirk Franklin back and forth. So that's kind of where I got my foundation, and then I found a love for jazz. Listening to the Herbie Hancocks of the world, and, Chick Corea. I would say my most modern favorite would probably be Robert Glasper. So those are some of my most musical heavy influenced on my career. To this day, I still don't believe I'm good because there's always something that I can strive to learn to become better. You know, I'm never complacent. When I figured out that I was decent was when I was about 11 years old. And I was at my grandfather's house in my room, and I was playing. I was blessed with a gift to be able to play anything that I heard. First round, first pass, I'd be able to play it. And so, at the time, he was at the dining room table, and I was in the room adjacent from him. And he kept yelling, telling me to turn the radio down. Turn the radio down. He just kept yelling that. It wasn't no radio playing. It was actually me playing my instrument. And so I remember he busted in the room with his belt, and he seen me on the floor. And he said, "That's you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And you know, he just started cracking up, laughing. So I think that was the first sign that I actually was pretty decent at my craft. Man, there are so many. I think that one of the biggest musical performances or things like that, or nature of what I felt that impacted me, is when I was in Africa. Seeing all of those people, the loud boom from the speakers, and standing right there, and you can actually feel the crowd roar. You can feel it in your chest. So that would probably be one of my wow moments. Wow. Oh man, we had those every week. Crash and burn moments. I would say I was instructed to play a song, but the song had it had the same title, but it was two different versions by two different artists. And I learned the wrong version. But it wasn't my fault. The artist just gave me the title of the song. They didn't give me, "Hey, this is by Dave Sanborn." It was like, "This is the title of the song." So, you know, you go up on YouTube and you find the most popular one. And so when it was time to kick off, that was pretty bad. Now I do have another crash and burn moment. That's even funnier.
Come on.
When I first started out playing, it's a gift from God. So I started playing at around, I want to say 1, 2. I got my mother here, so that's so anything that I heard to this day, I can still imitate. And so when you go from doing that for many, many years without any formal training, and then when it came time for me to go to school, I went to school for music. That it could play up and down, but when it came time for that discipline to learn how to read charts and notes and things like that, I just didn't have it, you know, because it's like breaking bad habits, slapping your hands, using your fingering and all that. And so one of the most crash and burn moments was I would let my musical instructor, and she finally caught me, she figured it out. I would let her play. She would play and read the chart, and she'd be playing, and she'd play the song. And the whole time she's thinking, I've learned how to read the chart. I'm just using my talent. So she would play, and I would just play it note for note. She'd be like, perfect. And so then at the end, she figured it out. She was like, she sat me down and she said, "Play." And she put the chart up there, and I couldn't read it, you know, so I'm like standing there. And by the time, how it worked was you go through these individual classes, and then at the end you have this grand performance in front of the entire music faculty, or, you know, facility and friends. And so I remember going up there, and I remember her playing one piece of the song, but I thought that was the whole song. So when it came time to do my recital, I sat down and I had all these people and I was dressed to the T. And then I started playing that part and I jammed. And then I stopped. And it was over. And there was no claps. And it was like, well, okay, where's the rest of it? I didn't know that she only taught me one movement of the entire song. And so that was probably the biggest crash and burn moment I've had in my career. I mean, I could play that song backwards. It was Spain. So I learned the intro, but other than that, no, man. I crashed on it. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to aspire to be a professional, professionals put in those hours. Professionals learn the music the right way. They spend the time. And, it's cool to do quick fixes and everything, but it'll reflect in your playing if you're not serious. So take it serious. My mother.
Yay! I'm in the building. All right.
Mom, Dave.
No doubt.
My guy, he'll keep me clean. Just musicians and singers all over the world, man. It takes a lot to share your gift amongst people and do what we do and be secure in doing that, to heal and help and do whatever we need to do. Music is a universal language, man. Damn you, Dave. Now, do you know this is a multi-layer question?
Yes.
Are we talking about just mains? Are we talking auxiliary? What are we talking?
What would be your main keyboard if money was no object and you was leaving right here to go pick it up?
Nord, all day. Nord. It's just, it was a keyboard that I've always wanted, and then the sound, the piano sounds they're crisp. It's like you really, you have those, those workstations that try to emulate real pianos, but no, this is like, it's like you actually sitting in Germany in a recital hall.
Okay,
Rhodes, it's just perfect board when it comes to that.
Okay, cool, man. That's what's up. This is Barbershop Chronicles, y'all. Peace.